Tyson Kirby was good. Was good, folkers. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're in the world. It's Tyrant's Bane. Welcome to the Definition of Anarchy. Rocking and rolling. Already been at this for a minute. Was debating if I really wanted to go live right now. Sunday, August 29th, 2021. You know what? Look at the sky, y'all. Overcast. Kind of cool. You wouldn't think there was forest fires going on in Cali right now. But, SoCal's a little different. Well, you know what's interesting? Haven't really been any wildfires here in Southern California. You know what I'm saying? Haven't really been any wildfires here in Southern California. Mostly in Northern California. And I find that very interesting. For one, we have a lot more moisture down here in SoCal than we normally would this time of year. And, this, in the middle of August, this don't really happen. But hopefully my notifications went out. Wouldn't be surprised if most of them didn't. But anyway, so a lot going on. A lot going on here in the States. A lot going on in Afghanistan. A lot going on in Australia, where tyranny is full tilt. Full tilt tyranny in Australia right now. They're not enjoying what little freedoms we have left here in America. And you see how that's going, right? Whole country on lockdown because of 800 new cases. Well, Sydney, right? 800 new cases, full on lockdowns. And the only reason they can do that is because they don't have the right to keep and bear arms out there. Well, they do. It's just not being observed. It's not being respected. And it's not being, allowed. Full tilt tyranny. There were peaceful protests in Australia protesting the lockdowns, and they arrested hundreds of people.
Do you throw weights in?
Yeah.
How much do you put in your pack?
It's about 70 right now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start doing that.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Good idea, bro.
Yeah. So Same thing in New Zealand, y'all. So how is this possible? Well, like I told you guys, this is something they want to do here in the States. But because people have the right to keep and bear arms, to a degree, right? Every day they're eroding that right. But 400 million firearms in this country that we have to be willing to use to defend our lives and our rights. Not just our life, not just when our lives are threatened, but when our freedoms, when our essential liberties are threatened, we need to be able to take up arms and fight for that too. Why do you think the Revolutionary War was fought? Why do you think the Civil War was fought? Because their rights were being threatened and they weren't having it. They weren't having it. So they fought. They fought. And that's what we need to be willing to do. Yeah, I mean, got one person watching. Yeah. Two people in the building. Thank you guys for stopping by. And kicking it with your boy. Man. Fred Kroldart. Alien Believers was good. Frank Kroldart. What was your previous name? Frank Kroldart. I don't recall that name, but I see you have a wrench. I do not need to get on here often, but I sure do enjoy every time I get to see you. You're an intelligent man full of information. Thank you for sharing your mind. You know, that's why I do this, y'all. Somebody got to do it. It's all good. Frank. My channel is stunted right now, so, you know, it's all good. Yeah, yeah.
My man, Marcus.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir. All right, I'll see you later, bro.
All right, brother. So, oh man, y'all gotta be willing to fight for your freedoms, y'all. I don't think I'm gonna have a good as week as last week. Your wife has stage 4 lung cancer, really sick. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I'm sorry to hear that. That's not a, man. Oh, that's what's up, Frank. Faith in me was good. I'm sorry to hear that, Frank, man. Hopefully, by some miracle, she pulls through. I'll send positive energy her way. I'll send some positive energy out in the universe for her. But anyway, I kind of wanted to give my take on what's going on in Afghanistan. You see, the elites, they don't really want to leave Afghanistan. There's too many resources there. I know last week I mentioned that they probably got their fill of those resources, but why give it up if you don't have to, right? Yes, your people want you to get out. Your citizens want you to get out. Your allies want you to get out and be done with it. But why do it if there's more to gain for the elites than if they stay? You know what I mean? There's more to gain by the elite bankers, the war machines. They have a lot more to gain by staying there. So this whole thing, pulling out the wrong way, you know what I'm saying? Pulling the troops out first, leaving Americans stranded, and then the bombings. I think they saw that coming. And they wanted it to happen so that they can have an excuse to strike back. But that isn't going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. All right? They're going to want to go in there and reestablish what they had before. You understand? War makes these people a lot of money. These people thrive off of war. You understand? War makes them a lot of money. Having access to all that lithium, right? The lithium, the poppy, they don't want to give that up. So I think that was all a plan. Listen, they don't want to leave. That's the bottom line. For what? Why? Because Americans don't want them to be there? They don't care about what we think. They don't care about how we feel about it. They don't mind sending your sons and daughters off to war. They don't mind that at all. They don't care about that. They want what's best for them. So, what happens? 2 suicide bombings, and then, like a day later, they drone strike the planner of that attack. So obviously, you had a lot more intel on that attack, on that planner, than you let on. You knew about that planner beforehand. So why not stop him before they can do it? Why not stop it? Why not prevent it? Because they don't want to. They want the devastation. They want the dead bodies. They want to say, oh, 13 servicemen died in a suicide bombing. So that they can justify dropping a bomb in Afghanistan and saying, oh, well, we got to send 3,000 more troops out there, 6,000 more troops to help get people out. They don't really want to get Americans out. Of all the people they've gotten out of Afghanistan, 5% were American. 5%. They already told you they're on their own. They told you that. 3 children died in those bombings, by the way. 3 children. So they say. But who knows what the real number is? Do they ever tell us the full truth? Hell no. They tell us just enough truth to make shit plausible. They sprinkle shit and call it a fucking birthday cake donut. They can drone strike anyone at any time anyways. They always could. Yeah. They do have U.S. weapons and supplies. You don't think that was deliberate? They knew the Afghani forces were going to fold. We're going to be overwhelmed. Without the air support from the United States. They shut down Bagram Air Force Base. For what reason? Why would they leave such a crucial, and people want to say, oh, well, Bagram Air Force Base wasn't really that, hot, but it was. We spent $500 billion on that Air Force Base, I believe. And that's another point from which people can leave the country. But they shut it down and only made access to leave the country in one place. So they left that Air Force Base to the Taliban. And they knew that that was going to happen. These people are sick, y'all. When are we going to wake up and understand that the government ain't shit?
I am not doing that either.
And they don't mean good shit for us. They don't want good things to happen for us. They want us to live in fear. They want us to be sick. They want us to depend on them for everything. That's what they want, man. They don't care about you. When are we going to understand that? When are we going to take the reins of our lives back from the government and say, fuck y'all, we got this from here. Thank you for your service or your lack of service, but we're done. We could be done with them without firing one shot. Without firing one shot. But you have to be prepared for another scenario. But you can do it without firing a shot. All you have to do is say no. Stop participating in their system. But it can't just be, a few hundred people, 200, 300. No, it don't even have to be 80% of the people in the country.
What time is that, though? Because I did want to stay over there a couple hours.
10, 20 million, 30 million people decide, we done. They'd have to listen. And for those, there's going to be a lot of passive people that aren't going to want to do anything. They're going to want to, sit on their hands. Well, to tell them to stay out of your way. Tell them to stay out of your way. Just tell them, look, this is what's going to happen. It's like Irene Yvette said. She said a great thing when she said, when the revolution happens, there are going to be people who are not going to want to participate, just like the first Revolutionary War. They didn't need all the people to participate. Just stay out of our way. When you see shit going down, don't interfere. Stay out of our way and let things happen. You understand? But the way things are now, who's up in here? Oh, what's up, High Impact Flicks? High Impact Flicks in the building. Faith as Me Speak says, meanwhile, at the same time, they have weather control going on again at the big storm hitting today. Yeah, that's crazy. High Impact Flicks, what I tell you, brother. What I tell you, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. You see, and that's the thing. It's people like, and that's why I watch the Inconsistent Lucas. because it's people like him that is going to be a greater danger to real freedom lovers if something goes down. He's going to be the one and point, look at them over there. Oh, he's not wearing his mask. He didn't get vaccinated. He's going to be that person. That's y'all don't understand. And it's a sad day when I say that he's going to be a greater obstacle. People like the amazing Lucas is going to be a greater obstacle to someone like Brandon Tatum. Because even Brandon Tatum right now, he's, you know, he ain't pushing the V. He's not pushing the face flags. You know what I'm saying? All he do is get over his unbridled love for the police officers, which probably ain't never gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Once he realizes that the police officer is gonna be one to enforce the tyranny, I don't understand how you don't see that right now. But maybe one day he will. But right now he's blinded by his previous profession. But it's gonna be people like the idiot Lucas that's gonna be the greatest danger to us. Right? It's not gonna be Nancy Pelosi. It's not gonna be, look at Joe Biden. You think Joe Biden gonna come to your house and try to give you a hokey pokey? No. You think Mitch McConnell, all these people, they're not gonna do shit. They're not gonna do, even the bankers, even the criminal bankers, they're not gonna come to your house. They're gonna send the cops. They're gonna send the soldiers. They're gonna send the FBI, the ATF. That's what they're gonna send, right? Did you guys hear about Tennessee and that huge flood? Man, it's crazy what's going on in the world today with this weather. I also watched Dane Wigington. I like Dane Wigington. He cite all the time, so I'm up on the weather. Yeah, I like Dane Wigington. He's very fatalistic though, man. But he's just keeping it real as he sees it. I used to watch his news updates every Saturday. It's been a while since I watched it, but Dane Wigington, he's got something going there. He knows what's up. But yeah. I mean, Alien Believers just watched you, High Impact. Yeah, High Impact Flick's got a lot of good videos, a lot of good information. But hell, even people like my mother, she joined the Moderna trial and got both shots. And she wound up, hers not being, she got the actual, the actual cocktail. It wasn't a placebo. So, I mean, it's going to be people like her. You know what I'm saying? People like her calling for, these mandates. Like, I don't understand how people could do that. Dane is a bit fatalistic. He should know God's still in control. But we know all this has to happen. So we're not supposed to have the spirit of fear. Yeah, don't live in fear. Like, even though I know they're controlling the weather, I'm not in fear of what they can do to me with the weather, right? I'm not in fear of it.
Jason,
I know, okay.
hurry up.
You just got to know how to kick into gear. If there's a flood, you got to know you got to prepare for all this stuff. Instead of living in fear of what could happen, prepare for what could happen. Prepare for what could happen instead of living in fear of what could happen. Because if you live in fear of what could happen, you're going to just be cowering in the corner. You're going to be nervous and you're going to jump at every shadow. You're going to think every cough and sniffle is a freaking Modelo 19. You're going to think, you're going to think every earthquake is a big one. You're going to panic and you're not going to be able to know what to do.
Come here.
So instead of living in fear of what could happen, prepare for what could happen. And if you're prepared for what can happen, if you drill it in, if you go through the motions, if you're like, okay, if this happens, I'll do this. If that happens, I'll do this. If you do that, you'll be better off. You'll be better off. Lance G, what's good? If you know, if you believe there's going to be a buyback, mandatory buyback for all your firearms, if you think that, oh, there's going to be an assault weapon ban and they're going to come for your shit, they're going to come door to door, prepare for that. Don't wait for the day to happen. Don't live in fear of it happening. Prepare for it. Be like, okay, they might come for my shit one day. What can I do? Where can I go at the first sign that they're coming? That's what you need to do. People are so in fear of everything. You know what I'm saying? So I just got a text message from someone who gives me information from time to time. But you know, this person, she means well, but she is a MAGA Trumper. And unfortunately, she's caught up in the Q thing. And it's like, I've been trying to tell her, and actually I saw her yesterday, and I've been trying to tell her, like, look, I know you, when Trump was in office, right? When Trump was in office, I was trying to tell her, I was like, look, I know you think Trump's your boy. You think Trump is going to save the country, but you got to understand that even if he is legitimate, even if he is real, there's only so much he can do as president. You understand? If you join their ranks thinking you're going to change it from within, it's more likely that the system is going to change you, because the system is so entrenched. Its foothold is so deep that you're not going to be able to change it from within. It's not going to happen. So I had to tell her, like, look, I know you think Trump is hot shit, but he might not be. As a matter of fact, I think he's not. I said, you got to get out of this left-right paradigm, because it's got you trapped. You're suffering in cognitive dissonance. And I saw her yesterday after a while. It had been a while, because she worked at the farmer's market, and she refused to continue to work there because they wanted her to wear a mask. And she kept getting, called out by customers. And so she quit. And I ain't seen her in a while. And I saw her yesterday, and she was telling me, I should have listened to you, blah, blah, blah. But she still has this hope that Trump is going to save the day. And I'm like, man, y'all got to get out of that mode. Y'all got to get out of that. Stop looking for saviors and save yourself. You know what I'm saying? Stop looking for saviors and save yourself. What are you going to do to save yourself? Like, what if Trump doesn't come through? Which he hasn't. What are you going to do if Trump doesn't come through? What are you going to do then? You're going to be stuck in a rut, and you're going to be looking at me like, what am I going to do? Because that's what they do. They look at me like, oh, what should I do now? Blah, blah, blah. Because they know I've been preparing. They know I've been preparing since about 2014. I've been prepping since I wrote my book. Since I started writing my book. I started writing my book in 2015, finished it in 2018. I've been just something. I forgot what happened. I mean, I was already on, my freedom movement. I was already on that. I was already on, breaking free of the government rule and all this, that, and the third. But I was like, at some point I was like, but what am I doing to ensure I'm ready for whatever may come? And I was like, I'm not doing anything right now. I need to start. I need to get something going. I need to make sure that I have the ways and the means to survive whatever may come, whether it be government forced lockdowns, which I thought about. You know, I thought about a lot of shit. And guess what? I started buying emergency food supplies. I started buying all the ammo when you could still have ammo shipped to Cali. I was buying all kind of ammo, having it shipped to my house. I bought all kind of firearms. My wife was like, "God damn, dude." I probably, you know what? In 1 year, I think I spent $10,000 to $15,000 on firearms and ammunition. And back then, you know, ammo was going. You could buy a box of 9mm for $5 or some shit like that. You can get a box of 20 for $5 or some shit like that. A box of 50 for like 10. I got a case of 1,000 rounds of 9mm. I think it was $300. $300. Can you imagine? I was buying 7.62, 9mm, 5.56, 2.23, 7. What's the millimeter equivalent to 7.6, 7.62, or not the millimeter, but 308. 308 by 51. I was buying all that shit. All that shit. I bought all kind of shit. Scopes, freaking foregrips, when you can still buy foregrips. Magazines. You know, magazines had always been 10 round capacity, but I mean, batteries for the scopes, right? Batteries for the lasers, because I had lasers. Batteries for, you know, hologram, you know, for the hologram sites. Backpacks. I was buying all kind of shit. $10,000 to $15,000 in 1 year just on prep shit, and that's not including the food supplies. Over the years, I spent $1,000 on emergency food supplies and things like that. Night vision, no, I haven't gotten any night vision yet. Not yet. Because I want quality night vision. I hadn't really researched it a lot. Because, you know, I use night vision in the military. And I've seen some places, you know, you can get some night vision. But I haven't bought any night vision yet. But I did get, but I really want to get is some FLIR's equipment. FLIR's equipment. You know, the infrared vision. That's even better than night vision. Well, it's not better, it's different. But you can see a lot more through a FLIR scope. You know what I mean? That's what I really want to get. Yeah, it's very expensive. But I wanted to get the basics. I wanted to stock up on the basics. Didn't really want to get too much sensitive equipment yet. But I plan on, in the future, getting some night vision, some FLIRs. But unfortunately, I went to Vegas with all my ammo and all my firearms, every single one, and it was sad. We went out on a boat, and by God, that ship tipped over, and all my shit fell into a lake and just sank to the bottom. Haven't been able to find it. The ammo is ruined. The firearms, you know, it's sad. I lost all my shit in the boating accident. Now all I have are knives and machetes and hammers and a blowgun. That's all I got right now. Just so y'all know. I'm not packing anything, unfortunately. Damn it. I have to start over. But I'm not gonna do it in California, you feel me? I'm not buying anything in Cali. It's not worth it. Especially when I leave, I'm just gonna modify it back to a real weapon, you know? You can't even get newer handguns because of the micro stamp rule. The micro stamp law, bullshit. That was such bullshit. Micro stamping, come on, man. And they knew the manufacturers weren't gonna wanna do that. Micro stamping, the firing pin, come on, man. So no, can't even get a new pistol. Can't even get that new fancy shit that they got out nowadays. So it's not even worth it, man. Don't buy firearms in Cali right now. And if y'all live in Cali, get the fuck out. Get out. Get out of Cali. Brad Campbell says, I lost all my guns in a boat accident as well. And unfortunately, my GPS doesn't work, so I can't find them. Yeah, it's unfortunate. That's why your idea of space blankets is a good one, because it masks you from the flare. Oh, absolutely. You just don't want to put them on your windows right now because, you know, make it look like a nut basket. But, yeah, the space blankets will also block 5G signal. I've been looking for a nice crossbow. Yeah, I want a crossbow too. But like I said, I'm not buying anything until I get the fuck out of California, man. Then that sucks to lose all your toys. Yeah, it really sucks, man. It really does suck. What are you gonna do? You live, you learn, you get loves, right? Well, unfortunately, well, you know, it wasn't unfortunate. When I was born in California, it was great, right? You know, California in the 80s and 90s, dope, right? I mean, you still had the Mulford Act, which was in the 60s, but California was a lot better in the 80s and 90s, man. Clear blue skies, fucking, you know, just beautiful weather. It was great, you know. Just remember, crossbows take, oh yeah, they absolutely take a while to reload. I even think I would prefer a bow and arrow. Cali in the 70 days were great. Yeah, man. Now, 2000s, maybe the late 90s, 2000s to now. California is a trash dump. It's a trash dump. You know, I lived in Georgia, and that was probably like my favorite state in the union. My favorite state in the union. And you know, I haven't been to many other states. I've been to Texas. Didn't like Texas. I was in Plano for like 2 or 3 months. Hated it. Hated Texas. But Texas is so big. You were born in San Francisco, but I never lived in Cali, only visited vacation. Okay. Where'd you grow up? Mostly in Colorado. Okay. I've been to Texas. Didn't like it. I've probably been to more countries than states. Kansas, been to Kansas. You know, it was okay. It was all right. It's just real slow and fucking, you know, rural. Rancho Cucamonga, that's where you at, Fred? What city that I grew up in? 902 repping? Compton. I lived in Compton till I was 13. Then we moved over to South LA. More like by Ladera, like Windsor Hills and View Park. Affluent black neighborhood over there. Yeah, Kansas is flat as fuck. Been to Missouri. Yeah. No, it's probably easier to start a business anywhere but Cali. And I didn't know this, but you can live in Cali and have an LLC in another state. You lived 2 years in Missouri? Yeah, I was stationed in Kansas. And we would go to Missouri on the weekend sometimes. Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas. They had that little loop highway. What the fuck you looking at? They had that loop highway. What the fuck is? They had that looping highway. You know, it goes around. It goes. It's like a circle, and it goes in Kansas and Missouri. Where else have I been? Florida. I've been to Miami. Florida is okay. Wouldn't go to Florida now. Where else have I been? Time to make the way. Get out of LA or California as a whole. To where would a person move? Why leave California? Is anyone I see is well, Tamiko, California is a tyrannical shithole. All right. I hear about this bill that they're going to be talking about on Monday. This transportation bill, but they slipped some Hokey Pokey mandate stuff in there where you won't be able to do anything without a Hokey Pokey. Proof of Hokey Pokey. Except for go to the hospital. But we'll see. I have to research that a little bit more. But California, it's the laws, it's the politics, it's the fact that it's way too expensive. Housing prices are way too high. You know, there's a number of reasons why a person would be intelligent to leave California. It's just a not so free state. You know, these liberals, at the risk of sounding like a left-right paradigm believer, just turned it into a shithole. And the reason I say left is because that's what they are. And so they feel like they have to behave like some reckless, you know, liberal. You don't have to. And they're not even liberals. I don't understand why people call them liberals. They're not liberals. They're fascists. You know, Nancy Pelosi, what's her name? Kamala Harris, our senators and Congress people. They're pieces of shit. They don't give a shit about us. All they care about is how they can advance their wealth in their station by stepping on the people. You think Governor Newsom is not going to be recalled? I don't think so either. But we'll see. I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What's up, Marcus T? It doesn't matter if Newsom is recalled or not. It really doesn't. It doesn't matter at all because we're still. So let's say, okay, let's say we get Newsom out of here, and what's his name? The black dude. The black Republican guy. I forgot his name. Larry Elder. Let's say he comes in. You know, supposedly he's pro-gun and, you know, anti-force hokey pokey and all this, that, and the third. But you still have to understand, he has a state Senate and a state Congress to deal with. If those people are still fascist commies and he's a liberator, he ain't gonna be able to do shit outside of executive actions, which can be challenged in court and get tied up. No. The best thing for people to liberate themselves in California is for them just to simply stand up and say, fuck that. I'm not taking it no more. Y'all got us fucked up, and we're taking our freedoms back. We're not asking for them. We're taking them, and we're running with them. I don't care what you got to say. I don't care how many cops you send our way. We're just not going to do it. We're not going to stand for it. A Larry Elder isn't going to save Californians. Only people that can save Californians are Californians. Is it like New York? In a way. Yeah, Larry Elder, yeah. Time to make TOA one. If you were born and raised in California, should you fight for your home state? Like you said. No, I don't give up. But listen, there's not enough people in California willing to stand up and fight for their rights. But there are people in Northern California that want to break parts of Northern California off and go rock with Idaho. I forgot. Is Idaho or one of those? Participate in something like that, but it wouldn't be part of California. It would, you know what? And it wouldn't matter. These geographical lines they're drawing, these state lines, it shouldn't matter. If you're free in one state, you should be free in all states. And you should be free in all states. I shouldn't even have to have this discussion. People shouldn't be having to convince oppressors to stop oppressing them. You know what I'm saying? Everyone needs to stand up. I can't change California politics. I can't change these man-made laws. I can't do it by myself. How many people do you see here with me doing this? Huh? How many people? I'm a man apart in California. I need to go where like-minded folks are. And I know just where that is.
If it wasn't like the first time
Exactly, yeah.
then maybe you could bring up.
It's like that one South Park episode. Smug people from San Francisco like to smell their own farts. And we see what's going on in San Francisco. Shit is trash. San Francisco then turned to shit. San Francisco, wow. And it's still costs $5,000 a month for a studio apartment. You step out of your apartment building, and there's a pile of shit right there, and a heroin addict is shooting up heroin right over there. Not to say, hey, he wants to smoke heroin, let him do him. But, you know, nothing in California makes sense. Faith Is Me Speak says, why do you think they want to get rid of states' rights? Because each state had its own rules, and that's what they have to get rid of. Yeah. Well, they're starting with the voter laws, right? That's how it starts. Now, y'all know how I feel about voting. Don't really care. I'm not a voter. I think voting is a waste of time. I think voting is showing that you're a willing participant in this broken, oppressive system, and that you're going to vote for one oppressor over the other. That's what I think. But it starts with the voter laws, right? Because the state is supposed to handle that. But if the federal government can just take it away from the states because 2/3 of the Senate and 2/3 of the state can fucking say, okay, or that's not state, the Congress can say we're doing it, then you never have voting rights you never had state rights in the first place. If you have state rights, right, and the federal government can vote to take away certain state rights, then you never had that right in the first place. The individual states need to stand up and say, no, fuck that. If you don't want us to have a say in how our president is elected, then we're no longer participating in this federal system. See, you know, there's something in the Constitution saying, oh, you can't secede, blah, blah, blah. But so what? So what? See, that's the problem. Instead of just being free and saying, you know what? We have our states' rights. We're a sovereign state, and that's how we're going to act. We're going to act as a sovereign state. Instead of just doing it, you want to do what? Draw up paperwork. Present it to the federal government. Oh, we wish to break off from the union. You think it's going to work like that? Hell no. They're not just going to let you. No. You just have to say, we're no longer part of the federal corporation. We're a sovereign state. And you get more and more states, not just 1 or 2, get like 10 or 20 states, like the 20 states that have, I forgot, 20 states that are refusing that are forcing, that are banning mandates, right, for businesses, which they shouldn't be doing. A private business, a small private business that doesn't get government subsidies should not be told whether they can or cannot allow people to enter their establishment with or without a hokey pokey or a mask. It's not up to the government for that, but no, forget those states. The states that said, oh, we're a sanctuary state for gun rights, those states should also get together and say, we're breaking off from this federal corporation and we're doing our sovereign state thing. But just do it. Do it. Cut ties. I know. You got the military. Listen, all that shit, it'll sort itself out, right? It will sort itself out. You know, I know the federal government has the military on their side, but these soldiers, believe it or not, have a mind of their own. Even if they are misguided in their participation in the military and why they're doing it, they can be reasoned with, just like I was. I was reasoned with. I was shown the light. I was shown the truth. It can happen with other soldiers. But look, those states talking about, oh, we're Second Amendment sanctuaries. Take it a step further. Say, you know what? We're just gonna do our sovereign state thing. And you'll see. You see how that works. It's not gonna be as bad as people think it would be. Because you're talking about how many states are doing the Second Amendment sanctuary now? About 30 or something like that. Oh man. The South and states in the middle should be its own country. I don't know about that. Voting is to make us think we're doing something. Not only that, it lets them know that we're participating in this corrupt system, that we're going to just allow them to continue to do what they want to do because we're voting for representatives, we're voting for presidents, we're putting the power in their hands when we vote. You want to take your power back? First step, quit voting. Quit going out to vote. Quit standing in the long ass lines thinking you're doing something. That's how you gain your power back. Tamiko Anderson says, tired of COA. It seems that all of USA, United States, and America is the same. If everyone, where would they go? The control freaks are doing the same thing. Well, you go where you have a little bit more freedoms than where you have it, right? Like California, not so many freedoms. You go to a state that has a little more freedoms or more freedoms. You know, that's what you do. And then where you have more of those freedoms, you'll have more freedom-minded people. And you'll have more means to defend your freedom, right? Like the right to keep and bear arms. Like West Virginia. West Virginia has some of the least, they have very little gun laws. So you go to a state like that and they have more freedom-minded people. Where people are used to walking around with their firearms. You know what I'm saying? Concealed carry, open carry. You know? Where you don't get those stares. If you look like somebody like me, I'm looking like I'm geared up, right? People out here looking at me like I'm ready to go to war. And I don't have no firearm on me. But they're looking at me like I might as well have one. You go to a state where you have a little more freedoms to do what you want to prepare for what may come. And then you start spreading the message of freedom from there. Maybe convince more people to go to states like that. And then all you'll have in California are a bunch of aristocrats and homeless people. And they're gonna be looking around like, what? And when the government come for them, when they do those mandates, they'll lay down. California is going. California's a lost cause. It just is. The people here, look, there are some people here in California that have their head on straight and they know what's up. But they're more like the inconsistent Lucas. Most people that call themselves woke in California are more like Lucas, right? They're more like Lucas. They're stuck in the left-right paradigm, you know, and they believe in mandates. You know, that's that. It's just the way it is, man. That's just California in a nutshell. I have no hope for California, and that's okay.
Yeah, we all wear masks. But we don't have to like social distance.
It's just, you know, they like to work out here, and I don't know, man. These people have no purpose. They go to work, they pick the kids up from school, and they're just floating through life like everything's all gravy. They don't have a sense of, and they live in fear. There's this constant fear that they live in. They just live in this constant fear, and it's like you can't tell them nothing. You can't, and they're hypocritical. They're very hypocritical. My wife was telling me how her friend annoyed her last night because they're supposed to be going to San Diego for somebody's birthday next month. But before that, my sister and two of her homegirls are going to a concert. But they're gonna have their own little section, a little VIP section where they're gonna be around each other. And so the other friend, the one my wife is annoyed at, said that she might not go to San Diego with them because they're going to a super spreader concert and she don't want her daughter to get sick, right? It's just that fear. I'm like, man, like how many times, like, come on. As many times you hung out with my sister since this whole thing started. Anyway, but the funny thing is my wife said the same friend is at a pool party with a bunch of people. Nobody's social distancing. Nobody's wearing a face flag. And my wife called her out on it. She said, hey, you sound crazy right now. You out here at a pool party. Nobody's social distancing. Nobody's wearing a face flag. And you worried about what's your name going to a concert where they're going to have their own section with people that they know, and they're not going to be around a bunch of people? Like, you sound crazy right now. And then the homegirl was like, well, we're outside, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, hey, that's true. You know what I'm saying? You're outside. Transmissibility is much less possible. But at this concert, my sister's going to be around people, only the people that you already hang around. She's not being around a bunch of people that she don't know. They have their own section. So it's like, I don't know, that's Californians in a nutshell. They pick and choose when they want to go to a super spreader. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And she's like, she got hokey pokeyed, this friend. You know, you just can't tell them that. I tried to school her on it. I was like, look, man. I was like, why'd you get the hokey pokey? Because she doesn't want her children to get sick. But all right, man. You know, but I told her, I was like, you know, you can still contract and spread the Modelo 19 even if you have the hokey pokey, right? Yeah, but you don't get the symptoms. But your child can't get the hokey pokey yet until they're 16 or 12 or something. You have a newborn. So if you get the hokey pokey, you're going to have less symptoms, supposedly, allegedly, which hasn't been proven in my mind. But your child, they're not going to have the hokey pokey. They're still going to have, they're going to be as sick as if they didn't have it because they don't have it. So what are you talking about? Not that I'm trying to convince her that what she did was wrong, because, you know, she does what she wants. It's her body. You know, it is what it is. It's just this whole thing, like this idea that the Hokey Pokey is this great saving thing, the savior. Like the Hokey Pokey is just washing away all the Modelo 19. When before the Hokey Pokey even came out, there was a decline. Remember that? November, December, there was a mad decline in cases. It declined. It was going down. The deaths were going down. Cloud with 50% chance of chemtrail. They haven't really putting any chemtrails out here in Southern California lately. They're using that for the North, so that the North can continue to have their bullshit going on. Also, isn't very weird they're forcing people to wear face flags, but the rich kid in the college or elites do whatever they want. Yeah. Especially one of my friends in the sorority. She's a white liberal, went to Vegas. Had fun. All she went and didn't wear. Yeah. And you know what's funny? You bring that up. In Australia, yeah, they're locking down people, but the wealthy stars, the wealthy elites in Australia, they're still frolicking around at the beach, doing what they want. Chris Hemsworth out there surfing and shit. You know what I'm saying? They didn't come arrest his ass. You see? This is about the elites carving out whatever part of the world they want to have for themselves. You understand? That's what this is about. The elites, they want all the resources. They want all the fun. They want all the good land. They want to go to the beach without being bothered by you asking them for autographs. They want to go to the beach. They want to go out to the lake. They want to do all that shit without you being in their way. Because you're in their way. We're in their way. Us useless eaters that they feel we don't contribute anything to society. We don't contribute to the world. We just use things up. That's what this is all about. That's what this is all. They want to keep us locked in our homes. They want us to go to work and continue to produce. They want us to produce, but they don't want us to consume anything. They want to do all the consuming. Huh? They want to do all the consuming. And they want us just to sit here. Go to work. Work 8 to 12 hours a day. Fucking go home. In our little stack and pack apartment buildings. They don't want us to own land. They don't want us out there farming. They want us to be the farm hand, but not the farm owner. Understand that. They want us to serve them in these resorts, but they don't want us to enjoy the resorts. That's what this is all the fuck about. They want to lock down the schools, but their fucking kids can continue to go to the private schools. You understand? Y'all don't see what's going on? We don't see what's happening? Why do we still entertain these people as leaders? Why are we still acting like they're here for us? Like, why are we still believing that they work for us? They don't work for us. We pay them. We pay them through our tax dollars, through that extortion system that they call taxation. That we pay them, but they don't work for us, y'all. They don't work for us. They work for themselves. They work for their elite partners. They work for their elite friends. The bankers. Javier Sainz. Most Mexicans in Texas don't care about masks at all. Most of them are going through parties like quinceañeras and invite a bunch of people. Yeah. Javier, same here in Austin. Ain't nobody wearing nothing. You know, I just want us to wake the hell up, y'all. That's all. I want people to wake up and realize that the government is an unnecessary entity. We don't need we don't need them. We don't need them. We're still smart. We're still intelligent. We can still build. We can still invent things. We don't, you know what I'm saying? Tesla didn't need the government to create an alternating current generator. You understand? He did not need that. Nikola Tesla was a genius all on his own. The government doesn't anoint you with special abilities. The government doesn't anoint you with the ability to build a bridge. No, we have that capability ourselves. It's in our own minds, in our own hearts. We don't need the government to realize this, do we? We don't need the government to tell us, yeah, you can build that road. No, we can build a road our own goddamn self. I like to use this story as a good indicator of what we can do without the government. There was a 13-year-old kid. I forgot what state he was in, but there were all kind of potholes in the street, right? All kind of potholes in the street. And, you know, the city government was supposed to get it fixed. They never got it fixed. So what did this kid do? He figured out how to fill the potholes up him damn self so people's vehicles could stop being damaged by the potholes. And yeah, he just used dirt and water. But he went out there every time he needed to go out there to fill those potholes. Without the government. A 13-year-old kid figured out how to fill potholes without the fucking government. Imagine if some of the adults got together in that community and said, you know what? Fuck this government. Let's fill up this pothole and stop paying these taxes. We don't need them for shit. Let's patrol our own neighborhoods with our own firearms and get rid of these police officers. Imagine if we had the balls and the intelligence to do that. Imagine. If that kid understood how useless the government was and took matters into his own hands, so can we. We can do the same thing, y'all. We can do the same shit. We don't need the government to survive. As a matter of fact, it's instrumental to our survival if we don't have government in our lives. The government is synonymous with destruction. Government is synonymous with oppression. Government is synonymous with slavery. Because when slavery was cracking, who okayed slavery? Who said, yes, slavery is ordained in this? It was a governmental system. Right? Because, let me tell y'all something, man. Government is hell on earth. You want to know what hell on earth is? Government. You get rid of government, yeah, it'll be a tough time for a little bit. But once we figure out how to get shit done, all we need are the right people in our camp. All you need is an engineer, a builder, an electrician, a doctor. You know what I'm saying? A nurse. Not a nurse, but, you know, multiple. Teachers. You know what I'm saying? Fight trainers. Military guys, veterans. You know? Maybe even ex-cops if they got their mind right. They got their mind right, though. But these cops, they're a lot more brainwashed than the military. Oh, man. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all think military dudes are brainwashed? No. These pigs? Hoo-wee! Oh, and shout out to Tim Pool, by the way. Who have been getting on the cops' cases lately for enforcing unconstitutional and illegal laws and shit like that. even though it shouldn't take, you know, the Modelo 19 for people to realize that these cops enforce oppressive laws anyway. You know, these cops enforce, what these cops are enforcing have been unconstitutional for decades. But he's realizing it now, and he's pushing that. So shout out to him for that. As real as it may or may not be, I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. I still got one more lap to do, but I'm gonna do it off this screen here. I don't have my little selfie stick holder thing. It broke, and so I'm tired of holding. See, I have to hold the shit up like this, and I'm getting tired of that. So, you know, I have the endurance to keep it up, but faith in me speaks, and no problem. You know, I'm here for that. I ain't trying to leave early. I've been here for what, an hour and almost an hour, over an hour and a half. Well, almost an hour and a half. I ain't trying to leave early. You just got here late. Nicolette Moore was good. But I'll get back up with y'all, you know what I'm saying, in the days to come. No problem, man. You know, I'm here for that. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to hopefully inspire you guys to get out here and train, y'all. Get your ruck on, man. To me, it's one of the best forms of cardio. You know what I'm saying? It's not as high impact as running, but it burns a lot more calories than walking. You understand what I'm saying? You could probably burn as much calories rucking as you can running for the same distance, or jogging. So, you know, give rucking a try. Start off with 10, 20 pounds and progressive overload. Progressive overload until you get to a point where you feel like, okay, I don't think I need to go over this weight practically, right? Because I've been at 70 pounds for almost a year. So, and I don't feel like I need to go above 70 pounds. Even though I probably could. I could probably throw 10 to 20 more pounds in there. But no need for it. So, but I might do it one day as a challenge. So maybe I'll do that one day with you guys. Do a rucking live with about 80 to 90 pounds. And see how that goes. See if I don't die. I've watched the whole stream and catching up 2 times video playback speed. Oh, that's what's up, shawty. I appreciate that, Fred. You know, I try to be, man. Thank you for your videos. I appreciate them. It's nice to hear what you have to think. It's nice to hear what other people think too. No doubt. Much love, guys. Get out there and train. Stay frosty. Head on the swivel, y'all. Peace.